And now to new information on the explosion yesterday in Cleveland's Kinsman neighborhood that destroyed dozens of units in an apartment complex. You see it there. It also sent 5 people to the hospital. Now tonight, dozens of families, they don't have a place to live.
Shedeur Sanders just shocked the entire city of Cleveland with the most heroic community response we've ever seen from a rookie quarterback when a devastating apartment fire killed a hero father and left 40 families homeless. Sanders didn't just send a check like most athletes would. While critics on social media were literally telling him to stay away from Cleveland's east side, Sanders did the exact opposite. He rolled up to Garden Valley, ignored the haters, and said something that'll give you chills. "God told me to come out here, so I'm never going to question his word." What happened next completely changed how an entire community sees this young quarterback forever. Look, I've been covering sports for years, and I've seen countless athletes talk about giving back to the community. But what Shedeur Sanders just did in Cleveland, this isn't your typical PR stunt, folks. This is something completely different. And by the end of this story, you'll understand why this rookie quarterback is already becoming a legend in ways that have nothing to do with football. Let me paint you a picture of what went down on June 23rd in Cleveland's Garden Valley neighborhood. Rainbow Terrace Apartments, a place where families were just trying to live their lives, suddenly became the scene of absolute chaos. An explosion rocked the building, and within minutes, flames were everywhere. We're talking about a fire so intense that it took more than 60 firefighters from 20 different companies to battle it for hours. But here's where this story gets real heavy. And I need you to pay attention because this part is going to stick with you. While everyone was running out of the burning building, one man, Cordell Sheffield, just 30 years old, made a decision that would cost him everything. This hero, this absolute warrior, rushed back into those flames to save his stepchildren. He saved them, but Sheffield didn't make it out. He died from burn injuries, sacrificing his life so the kids could live. Can you imagine that? The courage it takes to run toward fire when everyone else is running away? That's the kind of man Cordell Sheffield was. And his story is about to connect to Shedeur Sanders in a way that's going to blow your mind. So here's what we're looking at after this tragedy. 40 families displaced, 5 people hospitalized, and an entire community absolutely shattered. Ward 5 Councilman Richard Starr put it perfectly when he said, "Since June 23rd, everyone has been not themselves." The whole community was crying, and now we're mourning the loss of Cordell Sheffield, who was a hero. Now here's where most athletes would maybe tweet their condolences, maybe send some money through their foundation and call it a day. But Shedeur Sanders? No. This dude operates on a completely different level. Picture this. Sanders is out of town when this whole thing goes down. He's probably focused on rookie duties, training, getting ready for the season. But then he sees something on social media, not from his PR team, not from the Browns organization, but from a random Instagram DM. Someone reached out to him about this tragedy. And his immediate response wasn't, "Let me think about it," or "I'll have my people look into it." His response was, "Dang, that's crazy." And then, action. I just wanted a day for everybody to get out here and have some type of enjoyment, excitement, bring just the family atmosphere back. The Garden Valley Funfest would raise money for those impacted residents. The event ran from 4 to 8 p.m. and featured food, music, and fun for everyone. But wait, it gets better. When Sanders posted about organizing this Garden Valley Funfest on his social media, you know what happened? The comment section exploded with people telling him not to go. We're talking about his own fans, people who supposedly support him, literally trying to deter him from going to the East Side neighborhood. Some of these comments were probably straight up telling him it was too dangerous, too risky for his image, whatever. And here's where Sanders showed everyone exactly who he is. Instead of listening to the noise, instead of playing it safe like most rookies would, he doubled down. He said something that's going to give you chills. "There were a lot of people who didn't want me to come down here and do it, but I don't understand why. God told me to come out here, so I'm never going to question his word." Let that sink in for a second. This 22-year-old rookie quarterback just told the world that he's not making decisions based on social media comments or PR advice. He's making decisions based on what he believes is right, and he's willing to stand on that no matter what anyone says. So what did this Garden Valley Funfest actually look like? Because this wasn't some quick photo op where Sanders shows up, takes a few pictures, and bounces. This dude rolled up at 4:30 in the afternoon and stayed until 8 p.m. We're talking about 4 hours of Sanders being completely present in this community. Picture the scene: free food trucks lined up, kids getting their faces painted, bounce houses everywhere, and a station offering free haircuts. But the most incredible part? Sanders and his teammate, Mike Hall Jr., found an open field next to the event and organized a pickup football game with the neighborhood kids. These kids, who just weeks ago were dealing with trauma and displacement, were suddenly running around playing football with their new hero. One of the kids said their favorite part of the day was meeting Sanders. But if you ask me, Sanders probably got more out of meeting them than they got out of meeting him, because that's the kind of person he is. He genuinely connects with people, especially kids who need someone to believe in. A resident named Tendelier captured the vibe perfectly. "I feel like it's wonderful. It's about time. These kids look like they're having a great time down here because usually it's not this nice, so I'm loving it." But here's what really gets me about this whole situation. Councilman Starr broke down exactly why what Sanders did was so different from what most athletes do. He said, "The way Shedeur came here about 4:30 p.m., he's been over here for an hour just entertaining, walking around with the kids, smiling, taking pictures with them. It's just nothing but a testimony to who he is and his character and how his upbringing is." And then Starr said something that hit me right in the chest. No matter who you are as an athlete, you can still give back. And it's bigger than just writing a check. It's bigger than just calling people out or saying, "I love you. My heart and condolences are with you." But being here is bigger than anything. Being there is bigger than anything. In a world where athletes throw money at problems and move on, Sanders showed up. He was present, he was real. Now I want you to think about this from Sanders' perspective for a minute. This dude is already dealing with the pressure of being a rookie quarterback in the NFL. He's got expectations, he's got haters. He's got people questioning whether he can live up to his college success. The easy thing would be to keep his head down, focus on football, and avoid any situation that might create controversy. But instead, Sanders chose to go where others told him not to go. He chose to spend his time with people who needed him most. And he didn't do it for the cameras or the headlines. He did it because, as he put it, just get active and actually do it. Sending money and stuff, that's easy. But you have to actually go out there and be in the flesh. I feel like that's more impactful. This is the mindset of a winner, folks. This is the mindset of someone who understands that greatness isn't just about what you do on the field. It's about who you are as a human being. And the community felt that authenticity. Starr explained it perfectly. We've got to continue to come together and continue to love on each other and put resources together so we can heal the community. And having a relationship with Shedeur Sanders where you now know that he's in your community, he understands what's going on in your community. He's been there. It's different. It's so great. That relationship piece is crucial. Sanders didn't just show up for one event and disappear. He created a genuine connection with this community. He showed them that he's not just the Browns quarterback, he's their quarterback. He's someone who cares about their struggles, their pain, their healing. Now, I need to address something that might be bothering some of you. There are going to be people who say, well, this is just good PR for Sanders. There are going to be cynics who try to diminish what he did by calling it a publicity stunt. But here's what those people don't understand. Sanders didn't have to do this. He could have sent a donation and gotten the same positive press. He could have made a social media post and moved on. The fact that he chose to spend 4 hours in a community that his own fans were telling him to avoid, that's not PR, that's character. And let's be real about something else. This wasn't Sanders' first rodeo when it comes to community involvement. The article mentions this was the second community event put together for the explosion survivors that month. Sanders was building on something that was already happening, adding his star power and resources to amplify efforts that were already in motion. That's leadership. That's understanding how to use your platform effectively instead of trying to be the savior. Sanders positioned himself as a supporter, as someone who wanted to help amplify the work that was already being done. You know what's crazy? Sanders said he could tell everybody's vibe down there is down to earth. This dude spent 4 hours in a community that many people have probably written off, and he walked away talking about how genuine and authentic the people were. That tells you everything you need to know about his character. While other athletes might have shown up with security, kept their distance, and left after the minimum amount of time, Sanders was walking around talking to people, playing with kids, and genuinely connecting with a community that needed to feel seen and valued. This is what separates good athletes from great ones. This is what separates people who just happen to be famous from people who understand the responsibility that comes with their platform. So here's what I want you to take away from this story. In a world where athletes are constantly being criticized for not caring about their communities, Shedeur Sanders just showed us what it looks like when someone genuinely gives a damn. He didn't just talk about making a difference, he showed up and made one. This rookie quarterback just set the bar for what it means to be more than an athlete. He showed us that greatness isn't just about touchdown passes and wins. It's about the lives you touch and the communities you impact. But here's what I want to know from you. Do you think more athletes should follow Sanders' example and get directly involved in their communities like this? Or do you think sending money and social media support is enough? And what does this tell us about the kind of leader Sanders is going to be, not just in the locker room, but in the city of Cleveland? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story inspired you like it inspired me, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because this is the kind of content we need more of. Real stories about real people, making a real difference.